And we are officially live in this hot, glorious sun that is known as Earth. Anywho, I kid you not, y'all, I'm sweating bullets here. I
And
just
that's
came
just
from
because
out.
you're here with us. I mean, come on.
I mean, but no, it's like 110 degrees today. It is ridiculous out here. And I just ran back inside. So I went from filming one thing to, being live streamed here. The life of a content creator never ends. I'm just kidding.
Ever.
Ever. It really doesn't. It's crazy. But hi, all you BC WrestlePod nerds out there, and welcome to another rendition of the All In Review, your weekly AEW review show here at BC WrestlePod, both on the YouTubes, the Twitch, and the Kicks, as well as the Facebooks and the Instagrams, where this is streaming everywhere. I am El Jefe of BC WrestlePod, also known as Mikey, and of course, joining me this evening is 2/3 of my lovely All Elite Ensemble team. Of course, tonight, changing his name and keeping up with the theme every week with how is he going to get food-related stuff into his name. So first and foremost, I would like to introduce joining me this evening, Lady Frosting, JBL. So claps for that. We love to see it.
Glad to be here. Glad to hear. And Mikey, for you, I know you're hot out there, but Benny, I'm surprised I can even see you at this point. The haze around here from the Canadian wildfires is just getting really bad. So I'm surprised I can see anything at all.
Tell me about it. I was just like, the West Coast is also on fire, so it should be a lot of fun. But also joining us this evening is, of course, our newest member in our lovely, lovely fourth. Well, when we have a full crowd, is Mr. Benny, who is back once again, and we haven't scared him off yet, so I'm excited.
Good evening, fellas. Hello to everyone out there, all the he's, she's, and theys, and let's rock and roll.
I love it.
I mean,
Shout
you're
out to all the
setting
he,
the
she's,
tone.
they. Yeah, shout out to the he, she's, theys, and gays, and everyone in between. And then, of course, I don't care because we're feeling spicy tonight. Be like, hello, all the bitches and bros and non-binary hoes. We love you. All right. But we are here to review another exciting week of AEW television. We are going to be covering the Wednesday, July 30th edition of Dynamite and the Thursday 31st edition of Collision. I'm just
Gotta get it in there. For some weird reason, they couldn't do Saturday Collision. I don't know what it could be. In this less problematic company that doesn't have so many things that just make it harder and harder to watch. I don't know what could have been going on. It's weird.
I will say this. We have said our piece last night when SummerSlam was reviewed. Stay tuned tomorrow afternoon at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern for my 20-minute video essay on the whole situation and putting these weirdos in check as well with the behavior that is transpired from fans. It's crazy out here. Spicy Mikey came out after a 20-year hiatus in that video. So even though I was calm, be prepared.
I love a good Fuego Jefe. It's just what I want. So I'm so happy here. We didn't get to say our piece though. Benny and I were not on that show. So obviously we might have thoughts as well, but then again, that could be seen as favoritism toward one or another companies, and we don't want that around here, obviously.
Yeah, so we spent a good chunk of the SummerSlam review doing it, so I don't want to bring it up here because I want to review something fun this week. Anywho,
you don't want to deal with lawsuits regarding horrible subjects coming into your wrestling product that's supposedly just about fun and having fun with everybody, even though we discriminate against. I'm sorry, I'm going to keep going on this for a while there. Because honestly, I can't say good things about AEW. They still can't book their women. Anyway, sorry.
Exactly.
I was just like, I need more women in AEW. Like, this has been a running theme for everybody here. But you know what? I was excited because, also now we're covering the end of the Chicago residency because this was the last week they were in Chicago at the ballroom. So this is going to be fun. I'm excited for tomorrow's Dynamite because now I feel like they're like, oh yeah, we should probably figure out how we're building to Forbidden Door. And this week kind of gave us 2 matches.
Maybe that'd be great.
But also it has me excited because I think that while they're pulling the playbook from Wrestle Dynasty from earlier this year when it comes to a true Forbidden Door. We'll get into that a little bit later, but
can I throw one thing in there first before we get to this review, though? One more thing. We all remember Claudio's entrance from last week where he came out of that giant, domed area on a stage, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Did everyone see the meme from this week from Botchamania or anything else, making fun of that?
No.
Did everyone see this? Do you remember the old Iron Chef show where they used to come up from the thing? They did the whole intro from that, and he picks Claudio Castagnoli, and he comes out. He's didn't put that was the best meme I saw all week. It was so good.
I thought Claudio went from a Swiss Superman to a Batman villain.
So,
I had to throw that out there.
It's all good. But I'm going to keep the housekeeping really quickly. If you like what you see here, subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Twitch or Kick. If you can't, watch a full-length video, even the edited version, follow us on all the social medias at BC WrestlePod. We pretty much are on there doing report cards and other things like that. We also have some merchandise available to you where we have our merch basically for every single review team we have on this channel. And spoiler alert, we might be adding one more brand sometime in the next month or two, or one more promotion in here to complete, as if we didn't watch enough wrestling out here.
No, not at all.
I will talk about that at the end of the show. We also have our Pride merch that is available 365 days of the year. No Charlie XCX on that one. But, we also have our anti-fascism, anti-establishment, just some BS out there where, for our Pride and, collection, part of the proceeds to point to Pride, and our anti-everything collection will be donated to the California Youth Immigration Justice Fund. So, yes, now that we've gotten out of the way, because those are important things. Also, I will plug this at the end in more detail, but a new op-ed piece coming out tomorrow. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But, gentlemen, let's get into it. Let's talk about Dynamite first. I will say this. I feel like Dynamite was very light when it came to certain things, because I was like, wow, I don't have a lot of things to really go over, key factors here for Dynamite. And then I was like, I see where everything went now. So, all right. Well, let's just jump into it. So we're going to kick things off, though. We're going to start. The more I see the Outrunners, the more I'm just like, I love these boys so much. But
Mikey,
what's up?
For all the problems we're going to have with this, for so many things, can we all agree the Bucks getting the jobber intro is one of the funniest things they've done?
So good. Because the jobber entrance where they just were already in the ring. I loved it so much. But
Matt and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks.
And the Young Bucks. I love Justin Roberts. I love you so much. But we opened up Dynamite this past week with the Forbidden Door World Tag Team Title Eliminator. So this is the quarterfinal, so to speak. Right? Yes, no, maybe so.
I guess it's the first round, and yet it's the quarterfinals. It makes very little sense. But, obviously that's what we're doing here.
Yeah, so in our quarterfinal, we get the Young Bucks versus this was a lot of fun. The more I see the Outrunners, the more I love them, and they have come such a long way and how over they are with the crowd. I still think their encounter with FTR at Collision 100 is probably my favorite and the best match I've seen the Outrunners be a part of, but this was a close second. They work very well together and against the Young Bucks. And shout out, I don't know what it is. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I don't really care to dig in deep in that, but the Young Bucks are showing up and showing out. I was like, I don't know what happened, boys, but I'm kind of glad you're showing up for every single week now. Cause before we were kind of phoning it in. But I'm so happy that I was like, yes, this is the Young Bucks I remember for a year and a half ago.
They're playing a practical joke that's gone far enough, and I believe that they're having fun doing it, so that's why they want to go out there and work these matches. Plus, I have a feeling the way the Outrunners have been pushed, they're getting a lot of good rapport backstage with folks, and then just it's a comedy plus wrestling team. It's going to be fun for the Bucks to play with this, and they went all out, and they look like they were having fun.
100%.
I remember a while ago, right before Private Party got the tag titles, I guess the Bucks wanted to drop it to the Outrunners. I think the Bucks have had this one in their pocket. Yeah, we need to work with these guys,
and yet they stopped them in the beginning of the quarterfinals and knocked them out of the tournament.
I know, right?
Yeah, we want to work with these guys and bury the hell out of them. Plus, jobbers shouldn't win. I mean, come on.
That was crazy.
I mean, who are Morton, Nathan, Young Buck? I don't know who these guys are.
No, this was such a blast. The Young Bucks would beat the Outrunners. The Young Bucks would be moving on to the semifinals, and they would have to wait until Collision to figure out who they were going to face. But the Young Bucks weren't done. They were done with being mistreated. Outrunners getting, all this stuff. Swerve, This is my favorite meme of the week.
All I want to put behind him is you keep either Nick or Matt right there, and then it's the house on fire with the little girl that has the weird look in her eye.
Yeah.
Which is even worse because of Swerve.
Oh my God.
I would love that so much. But again, Swerve, love you. Fantastic. Thanks for giving us the memes. It was great.
He swerves when he drives.
Yes, he does. The girls are fighting, but it's more so the Hurt Syndicate is done with MJF's mess. So
interesting. We're going to put this entire storyline together to make you care about certain things and then turn it around in less than a week.
Hey, it wouldn't be the first time a company within the last 72 hours just undid months of work in just a matter of weeks.
We don't know what you're talking about there, Mikey. There's no federations that would definitely do that over a 2-night event that actually probably sucked halfway through and really just buried the most important people they had on the roster while bringing back a known sex offender. It's really great.
So
I think it's honestly a red herring, to be honest with you. But
do you really believe that?
I honestly believe that, yeah. Like just because like the way like sometimes like when Max is like talking to Hanger later on, like he's like and Hanger's like, you ain't got the hurt business, and Max is like,
it's really tough sometimes for him to actually make things work.
What was that?
I'm just trying to figure out the logic of how Tony Khan can, take the time out of his busy life where he doesn't sleep and book a coherent storyline. I don't know.
Baby, oh no!
Well, I'm Sam's professor. I'm on my own tonight with Benny. I'm gonna go nuts.
Hey, you know what? Do you, boo?
I'm trying to, but everyone's watching. Anyway.
So the whole entire part here is that MJF is looking to talk to MVP, but Shelton is here saying that MVP is not here tonight. We go into this Timo watch that Max gave him, and Bobby already mentioned his feelings about throwing MJF out last week. Shelton's also there, so MVP is the last one, and we'll see what happens with all of this. MJF is going to have MJF out here, like, pulling multiple storylines out here. He is involved in a lot of stuff.
International stuff? He's all over the map.
Well, I mean, we're going to talk about it in detail tomorrow, but MJF is now a CMLL World Light Heavyweight Champion after this past Friday, which is not nuts to think about, but I was just like, y'all know this is setting up Mystico and him having some sort of match. And my money is if it's not at Forbidden Door, it's going to be at the 92nd CMLL anniversary in September. I was like, I'm calling my shot right now. So
it's called. You've called.
I have called it. Alrighty. But yeah, that was the crux of this. So let's go. Let's do this because I am Christian Cage and I am an asshole. Literally, I was like, Christian, I love you.
He may not have fully found himself, but goddamn, that man can take an actual concerto to the head.
Right?
Ooh. So I'll set this up and then you boys can give your thoughts about this. So Christian Cage, again, I'm Christian Cage and I am an asshole. He, we're starting to build to him and Copeland, like eventually coming back together. So this is going to be, all that good stuff. And you know what? He talks about how he's proud of Nick for doing it and actually he's giving flowers to it. But, don't mess with Christian Cage. And then man gets concertoed for his troubles.
Ooh, it's a rough spot in general, but they did the original one. Benny, thoughts first. You go, Benny, go.
Yeah, and like there was a few moments. I'm sorry.
I said that's when he kicks you in the balls when you give him a chance. But yes,
exactly. That red scallion. So like there was a few times where like because like the crowd was sort of like yes, like, yeah, tell us more. And he's just like, no, boo me. So he just kept doing it.
Well, boo, yeah, you told us. We'll boo you a couple times, but go on, please.
Yeah, exactly.
Benny, I feel like Christian he's trying to thread this needle very, very tentatively in a certain way because he doesn't want to like give it all away quickly. But in general, I mean, he's always been a good promo. He's trying to walk this non-contrition road while trying to sound like he's sorry. And he's not, and he's getting loved for it. And I'm kind of here for this. My issue with it, not issue, just I'm wondering about. I can see why Nick Wayne is like starting to run things like this, but I'm just confused as to what the hell Kip Sabian's doing. Like he's there,
yeah,
and I know he's attached in certain ways. Kip, give me a motivation other than what are you sleeping with Mama Wayne? Not near your mama's place. I don't know what's going on now.
Maybe AR Fox is. I don't know.
You know what? That would be hysterical if Shayna Wayne comes out with AR Fox just like on her arm. This is your new father, Wayne.
I was like, ooh. Anyways, oh my goodness, I can't.
But they're just stretching this out. I think Forbidden Door might be the first time Cope and Christian seem to work together or at least be on the same page. But I think they're building for All Out or anything else where they can get you or, to be able to have that big match with them. So this is stretching. This is seeding the seeds very small.
Yeah. I can see a world where, Copeland is just like, he might be an asshole, but he's my asshole.
He's my asshole, and I've beat him many times.
I don't see that.
We all know it takes a real man to beat his own asshole. Like he was like doing 7 other things, being El Jefe and running this company, and not hearing what we're saying.
I am listening, but I agree with both of your points in the sense that, Christian, we know that the end goal is Christian and Copeland. I like seeing Nick Wayne take charge a little bit because that's something we've been asking for. But again, you're right. Kip Sabian, I love Kip Sabian to death. I last week I said I was happy to see him come back into the ring. I want to see him in the ring more. But he is the weird, odd person out in this whole scenario because he didn't do much when Christian and the whole worked together, except getting beat up and being, the person that is cannon fodder, so to speak. And now he's starting to, but this is I was like, you're just playing a supporting role. I want Kit to do more.
And again, he's filling a role that was meant for Killswitch, for Luchasaurus, who we hope is still getting better day by day and feeling better as he's going along. But like Kip was never meant to be part of this.
No, he was not. So it's unfortunate. But as we say here all the time will tell what happens next.
Don't take too much time. Copa and Christian are not getting any younger. Anyhow.
Well, speaking of tag teams and turmoil, Big Stoke over here cutting a promo for FTR Bald and FTR somewhat aggravated assault. I don't know anymore.
Allegedly.
Alleged aggravated assault. Cutting a promo talking about it doesn't matter who's going to go to the final. It's the same promo we get all the time at these tournaments. It's just like, I'll be waiting. It doesn't matter who, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, except that we know what the final is going to be. It's them versus the Bucks. Again, could we have had something new? Hell, give me double mustache mania and give me a FTR mustache versus, Turbo Floyd.
A mustache versus mustache match.
Gates of Agony and Big Bill and Brian Keith were in this tournament. They had a feud going on like a month ago. They couldn't have made it to the finals.
I'd watch the Gates of Brian Keith. I mean, come on.
The Gates of Brian Keith. I love it. Oh my goodness. So, which then prompts the Bucks. They're like, FTR is faker than, all heck. I'm talking about, this is going to be awesome. It's going to be fun. I was like, y'all know you're going to pull some shenanigans. Y'all know this is what's up. Like, let's be for real. I'm like, we know what this is.
Who is this for? Who is this for? I'm honestly like, who in AEW is excited to see FTR Bucks 7? The sevening, like
not
it's not that they can't tell a great story, but we've seen it. We know there's been no time to cool off really because they're both ginormous chicken ass heels. All they've got different is Stokely in this. Like, who is this for? Sorry, who is it for?
And the end goal is the Hurt Syndicate, who's also another heel team,
and honestly is gonna lose to either one of these teams because they can't come up with anything new.
Oh my God. One thing I noticed is that somebody sneezed off camera in the middle of Stokely's promo.
I am glad I'm not the only one that caught that. I was like,
I was just like, what is happening, you guys? What is going on?
Well, I mean, they're taking a page out of TNA, apparently, having their live promo start, and they wait to count themselves in, and then they change their mind so that, Ash by Elegance can't give her own promo and look like she's actually professional. It's just so bizarre.
Oh my goodness. So I'm just like, I don't want FTR and the Bucks in this finals, but whatever. We're probably going to get it, so I'm going to have to learn to deal with it. Unless this week surprises me, but who knows at this point. We won't. Let's see what happens. We thought this in the middle.
The same match again. Sorry, what?
I was very surprised that this ended up being in the middle of the show. I was just like, oh, okay. But JVL, you kind of hit the nail on the head. Was this kind of the same match, just minus all the crazy stuff?
Nice punch.
At
good
All
job.
In Texas? Yes. Was this the same match that we saw at All In Texas? Kind of, just minus all the, Texas deathmatch aspects of it, but they were still trying to kill each other.
Darby cameo. I mean, come on.
We got a Darby cameo. We got a ref bump. We have, the Death Riders trying to help Mox win, but then security is like, nah. So we're not on that. So Darby jumping off of things.
Marina Shafir getting through security because men can't touch women.
And honestly, it's Marina Shafir. I was like, nobody can hold her back. I was like, it's Marina Shafir.
Prince Nana can.
Apparently, I was just like, Nana, I love you, but she will fold you like a lawn chair. Like, be so for real. But despite all that, Hangman does end up winning this match. He is still your AEW World Champion. Again, was this the same match that we saw All In, Texas? Y'all in? Minus the Texas Deathmatch elements? Yes. Did I still enjoy it? Yes. But now we are off of Mox and Hangman for a little bit, hopefully.
Till next week.
Till next week.
I think this was the way to separate them for a little bit. This match actually made me realize that this isn't New Japan John Moxley, like the Death Rider, in ring. He's taken away everything that the people cheer for, and he's just beating people up with big moves and choking them down, and I really applaud
being tough and gritty
the way he's just changed up his style. Yeah,
it's what he's needed to do. But the thing is, go ahead.
Especially the Ripcord King Kong Lariat, that I haven't seen that in a while.
Who uses that when you would just want to be able to get hit in the face multiple times and bleed when you're going to get a coffee? It's great.
When you put it like that, damn it, I got a gush.
Oh no, I'm breathing. Why am I breathing and seeing red? Oh yeah, my pores opened up. Anyhow.
So I still enjoyed this. I think this was, as you said, Benny, I think this is also a very nice way to set up. Now we're going to separate these two for who knows how long. So we'll see what happens with all that. Moxley has other issues to worry about. And we are going to talk about the potential kidnapping charge that Darby may or may not be facing on kidnapping and attempted murder at the same time. So we're going to get there when we get to Collision. I was just like,
at least it wasn't transporting across state lines fully. Yeah,
it was. Yeah. So this was fun. I also had a great time with this. Can we get more women's matches though, Tony Khan? I'm just saying, I'm saying.
What'd you say?
So we get a tag team match. Athena and your forever ROH Women's Champion and her minion, Billy Starks, taking on the team of our AEW Women's World Champion, Timeless Toni Storm, and Alex wins. I enjoyed this match. I think this was definitely an improvement from last week's interactions between all four of these women, like we talked about last week. Athena pins Timeless Toni Storm in this match. I was like,
you're skipping over so much though with this, like the assisted O-face. Billy getting run through the ringer. Alex Windsor going nuts and kicking everyone's. It's so good.
Yeah.
I was just like, Tony Khan, you got a good one in Alex Windsor.
Go, buddy, go.
Yes.
Like the ref pull spot, which they did both tag team matches already tonight, but they were both different lightly.
One was pulled off better.
Exactly. Man, Athena and Billy, they work so fluidly as a tag team. It's ridiculous.
They are so. I mean, they've gotten good with their chemistry. I want to see more from Billy, though. I feel like she's got so many more places to go, and not like she has to leave Athena, but she's being weirdly underutilized up here for some reason. I don't know why they're not she can work so much faster. So I don't know what's going on, but Alex Windsor is fitting in really well. Mikey, you're going to agree with me on this. I am feeling a Deonna Purrazzo run in her, and that's not what I want to see.
I hope not. I was excited when Deonna came in, and then, I was excited at the prospect of her and Taya being a thing, and then obviously that did not happen, so I'm just like, all right, well, it is what it is, so hopefully Windsor doesn't get that, because I will cry.
Hopefully it's not a half Windsor, and it's a full Windsor knot. That's what I want to see.
So, as stated before, Athena pins Timeless Toni Storm. Athena and Billy Starks pick up the victory here. Victory! Which leads into what we're going to talk about, Collision. I was like, all right, Athena, got you, girl. I see you. So Collision has a lot of stuff we're going to talk about. Again, MJF and Hangman are fighting. So essentially, MJF tells, Renee and Hangman Page, referably known to him as Seabiscuit, talking about how he can cash in his contract. And, MJF is playing the game. He is trying to go to Hangman into giving him a match without, MJF having to use his contract, all that good stuff. And Hangman's like, I was not born yesterday. You can't get me with all of that nonsense. And it's like, there are men in this locker room who deserve a championship shot before you, one of them being Mark Briscoe. So if you want a championship shot, MJF, you better prove it. And you better you have to beat some other opponents if you want me to consider this. So I was just like, I see where we're going to go tomorrow night. I was like, I'm pretty sure we were going to see where this goes. And I was right. So again, MJF is out here involved in 4 different stories at the same time. This is story number 2.
And yet we can't book more women. It's strange.
For real. Don't get me wrong. I love me some MJF and Hangman. I'm excited for when they collide, but yeah, more women, please. Next thing, more women. So Willow Nightingale cuts his promo.
I love her new shirt. I love it so much.
I love it when her hair is in these buns because it's oh, it's so cool, but also you will destroy me in a heartbeat. I won't make you mad. So Willow is just I don't know what's going on with Chris, but I'm done. But Tekla, I still got problems and I got beef with you. So we're going to fight on Collision. This is literally the promo.
This entire night mostly was just we're setting up for Collision. You're going to want to watch Collision. You're watching Dynamite to watch Collision. Watch Collision.
For real.
Okay, so why should I be tuning into Dynamite to watch Collision?
Yeah, I'm going to be so for real. As much as I enjoy parts of Dynamite, this was make sure to come back for Collision tomorrow evening. I'm like, okay. So, there's nothing else to talk about this because it's literally I'm going to fight Tekla on Collision. See y'all tomorrow.
Willow called herself the trapezoid of...
I was whatever.
I feel like she's trying to make another new shirt, and now I just want to see a trapezoid gripped by 2 hands.
It's Willow, we love you. I love you so much, Willow.
Wait. We watched Collision after they told us to watch Collision so many times.
That is so crazy how that works, right? Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It's really? I was like, gee, I didn't know I was going to watch Collision for this review. Thanks, AEW. I'm just kidding. So we move on, though, because surprisingly, we get into the main event of Dynamite.
Okay. I got to stop you here, Mike. I'm sorry.
Go for it.
Why does Mark Briscoe's new photo, which I don't like as much as when it looks like he's getting something rammed up his behind side, look like Temu Undertaker right now?
Not Temu Undertaker.
He's literally Mark Briscoe Overbringer, not Undertaker. The Overbringer couldn't afford the Undertaker. Damn yards. This is so bad. And then and Ricochet looking like a vampire. He looks like Trevor the Vampire. It's the high cast like. He's a full-on vampire.
Ricochet in this photo is wearing his,
What We Do in the Shadow.
What We Do in the Shadow.
That one, but that, and of course, this is his Naruto Akatsuki-inspired cut, so he out here looking like a Naruto villain, like a bootleg Naruto villain, so I'm just like, all right, yeah. This was fun. I really did like this match because, again, Mark Briscoe out here meaning business. I do like his old photo better because it was so much more light and fun and things like that. But Mark Briscoe has one mission and one mission only. He is out here to rip MJF's head off, and I'm kind of here for it. We get interference run-ins from, GOA. I don't know why we had to, shorten Gates of Agony to just GOA, but whatever.
Too much time,
I guess. But, of course, Mark Briscoe had some help in the form of, our new favorite tag team name, Brodito, of Bandito and Brody King, which if I wasn't poor, I would buy those Brody King Adidas dropping like next week. I'm not even going to lie.
You and me both.
I'll be like, also, I'm jealous of Adolfo because he also has the Young Bucks and the Swerve shoes. I was like, what the flip?
He's such a sneakerhead.
I was like, I have a sneakerhead too. Honestly, I would buy the boots too. I'm not a wrestler. I would just wear those boots. It's like, why are you wearing boots? Because I can.
Nice.
So, channel my inner Brody / AJ Lee. But Rodito comes in to even the odds. Mark Briscoe picks up the win here. Makes sense. Gets on the mic. Again, reiterates that he has one mission and one mission only. Actually really, as funny as Mark can be, I did appreciate this promo a little bit in the sense that it was a little bit more serious. And, he talked about how, his brother Jay is up there and, celebrating in the pearly gates. But he don't know Mark says he doesn't know if he's going to get there because he'll probably be watching from below because for the things he's going to do to MJF, he's going to burn in hell, essentially. I'm like, damn, Mark, that got dark real quick.
Like I said, Temu Undertaker.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. There's not much else to say. Go, Benny, go.
Oh, no, that's fine. Okay, let's fill the air. Mark Briscoe, I like how he's becoming an upper mid carder, and he's like one of those guys that just he can lose, he can win, doesn't really matter. Crowd's happy to see him, and get somebody else to that next level because he's a great baby face.
It's really true. He's able to work both sides of the fence. He's able to make things look really cool, and it's just I'm liking where they're going with him. I just don't know where the future is for it. He's having fun, but there's not a lot of traction in a couple ways. And that's what I'm worried about. I don't know. That's what I got.
Yeah. So, and then we kind of finish this whole segment out. MJF gets on the screen, talks about how he's not going to come out there. He's not going to fight Mark Briscoe, but he will do it next week, which then prompts MJF to do what MJF does best and do a sneak attack. We get a new shirt that MJF did nothing wrong. I was just like, okay, Max. I was like, all right. So MJF is getting ready to smack Briscoe with the ring, which then prompts Hangman to come out for the save, which, Max being our chicken shit heel runs and gets the heck out of Dodge. Mark and, Hangman kind of dab it up a little bit. And that is how Dynamite goes off the air.
Yeah. Set up for Collision. That's all it was.
Yeah. I mean, it was a setup for Collision. So I was like, that is how the final Dynamite in Chicago show ends, being a segue into Collision, which, let's talk about it.
All right.
Collision just threw a lot of things at us. And I was just like, oh, my brain hurts from the overload. So I had to watch it in 2.5 chunks. I watched an hour, then 45 minutes. And then I finished it in the course of a 4-day period. I was like, I can't. I was just like, there's a lot going on. So we're going to try our best to get through as much as we can because there's a lot to get through. Just a little lot. So the summary of this is that Jon Moxley wants Darby's head on a platter. Darby does his best impersonation of Batman before disappearing into the shadows. and the Death Riders go hither after Darby to chase him. I was like, that's really it. It's as simple as that.
In general, it's very fun to see them utilize the space in this way and like really play up this whole thing and how Darby is like staying light. But in general, like, is he just going to continue to do this thing where he's haunting him for a while? Like, what are they thinking with this? I can't think that this is very original in the first place, and Darby still doesn't seem like he can get back in the ring full time yet. That's the worry I have. I don't know about you, Benny, at all.
Yeah, I agree that like it's sort of not original in the sense that like it's very 97 Sting, like where like he's just sort of haunting that I don't want to bring up right now. And like, but like I love the use of this whole space, this entire residency, like because like they don't have like a hard cam, so like they're just using the floor cams to like catch everything. It looks very organic, you know? It's like what they're working to the room and not to the camera, which is sort of refreshing. But
it's got that indie feel basically like, to it. It played to your 7,000 fans. Like they just in general like want to talk to their fans. It looks like.
Yeah, exactly. Like when New Japan shoots their shows, you know, like pretty cool. I guess I really didn't have much to say about Darby, but
kind of the way we're all going with that. Like there's not much to say about Darby in this respect. He's kind of there.
Did Darby do a Darby thing? Yeah.
Yeah, Darby
stealing attempted assassination of anyway.
I mean, you're not wrong, but this was a whole 3-act structure, so we're gonna get to the rest of the 2 acts later in the evening. So after this, though, we get into our first match of the evening. This is Gates of Agony versus Bro Dito. This is actually a lot of fun. I had a good time watching this match. I know they're kind of the thrown together tag team, but I'm gonna be so for real. I want Bro Dito to exist for a couple of months. Like I really like them as a tag team, you guys. And normally I hate thrown together tag teams, but because these two, as well as a couple other people, have been intermingling in like 8-mans and trios and things like that sporadically over the last like couple months, I was just like, if this keeps Brody King on my television screen, I am never going to complain. I'm going to be so for real. Also, don't complain. You're for real. Also, Bandito, if you keep having bangers every single week, like on whatever program you are on, whether it's AEW, CMLL, ROH, like you are on track to be my favorite wrestler of 2025. I'm not even going front. And I will still stand by this. Y'all need to go watch that Takeshita Bandito match from Supercard of Honor. Holy crap. That match burnt the roof off the place. And I'm even more excited for Bandito's opponent at Death Before Dishonor in a couple weeks. But again, this was a lot of fun. You have Brodito, power base, Brody King, luchador extraordinaire, Bandito, taking on, I'm sad Gates of Agony, you won't get to go further, but I'm also happy that Brodito gets to move on. I just wish that, and this is just a minor nitpick, I wish that these tournaments weren't so obvious, especially when it gets to the quarter, like in our first rounds and then our semifinals. So it's like, surprise me.
Why surprise you?
I mean, that's fair. But make sure it's the good surprise, not the surprise where I'm going to rip my non-existent hair out.
Oh, yeah. Which you never know if that'll happen at all in general, but you can't call it. Anyway.
Yeah. But Bro Dito for the win.
I'm mad because they were up against Gates of Agony early, and it should have been them against the Bucks, knocking the Bucks out early or something. Like, seriously.
I would have loved for the Outrunners to knock out the Bucks and be like, they're losers. They can't catch a break, as they should be. Just kidding. You should be. But had a good time with this. I was excited. So, yeah. Go ahead, Benny.
Oh, sorry. You just say? So I was like, the fact that like the Gates of Agony were like on the defensive for the majority of this match, which is not usually their game, goes to show you how over Rodito is with probably Tony Khan.
I got this great idea. I'm going to stick a big guy and a little guy together, but the little guy's really strong. And then we're going to...
Oh, no. I can't. I love it, though. So, again, Brodito will be facing the Young Bucks tomorrow night on Dynamite. As much as I'm rooting for Brodito to move on to the finals, they're not, which makes me sad, but, it is what it is at this point. Like, what are we doing? Like, I don't even think there's a lot happening in this segment. So, we're backstage with Roddy and Kyle. So, Roddy is still depressed. Kyle O'Reilly is still trying to walk between two worlds of being in Paragon and the conglomeration. Kyle's just being Kyle. And then Willow and Hologram and Ishii come in, and they're just like, hey, man, we're going to go. We got to go, like this, all that stuff. And so Roddy walks one way, conglomeration walks another way. Kyle walks around in circles for a little bit before eventually going after Roddy. I was just like, this was weird and unnecessary, in my opinion. I was like, where are we going? What are we doing? Apparently, someone's just like, what are we doing?
Whatever you
I feel so bad.
This,
I was
by
just
the way,
like,
could have been a woman's match.
it really could
That would
have.
yeah. Or a women's promo and match, or maybe perhaps like 2 women's matches. That'd be great.
I'm being so for real. I would have taken a Megan Bang squash match. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. I want to take a Megan Bang squash match. Like,
Yeah.
Anything.
I was like, we could have had Willow just be here by herself cutting a whole promo. Like, anyways, let's move on though, because we got to talk about this. In your like 5th grade film class project, like homage or like parody of the Blair Witch Project, we literally have the Death Riders looking for Darby in the spooky attic of all places. And then Darby chloroforms Moxley and pulls him into the darkness. I was like, Darby, we need to put the My Chemical Romance Welcome to the Black Parade CD down. Like, put it.
It looked like he was like this was like a deleted scene from the bad Jeff Hardy, Jeff Jarrett, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre match. It's like this is what
Oh my
happened over
God.
this place.
Oh.
I don't know.
Oh, this was rough. I was just like, but you know what? This was only Act 2. We'll get into Act 3 later in the show. But again, Darby separates Mox from the Death Riders and then chloroforms him into the darkness. We're going to keep a crime count as this feud continues. So that's crime number 1 right here.
Love it. Great. Awesome.
We like kidnapping.
Light kidnapping.
We didn't get a Megan Bane squash match, but we've got a Chris Statlander squash match against Miss Lena Cross, who a bunch of companies are trying to sign her. Love her. Great. Fantastic work on the indies. Chris, I love you. Like, there's nothing much to say. I think Lena looked good for the time that they got, but Chris ultimately wins. I was like, yay, Chris. Which then was funny because then as she's walking up the ramp, we immediately jump into our next match with Willow making her entrance, kind of stealing Chris's celebratory moment. I was just like, oh, these two are the fight forever feud. They are the Sami Zayn and the Kevin Owens of AEW women's. They will fight forever and I will eat it up every time.
I mean, I'm glad to see there's parity in this where TK just can't figure out how to book anybody and that the women are getting the same thing of like, yeah, and yet they do it better for some reason. I don't know what it is.
Hey, you know what? Like, I'm not going to disagree here. So, speaking of Willow, get into our match as we were told to come and watch this from Dynamite the previous evening. Willow Nightingale versus Tekla. I'm still mad that it's called the Triangle of Madness, and I wish they called it the Web of Madness. That'd be even crazier. I love that. But anyways, this was great. I liked this match. This was a lot of fun for me. I say that a lot, but when Tekla, I am very familiar with from Stardom, and I loved her in Stardom. Willow needs to be women's champion at some point. Not TBS. I'm talking about this AEW World Championship. Give this girl a title run or something. Or if you're gonna, or give her the TBS Championship again.
Anything at all.
Yeah, seriously.
How can we not have them? Oh God, I don't know. I don't know. Go.
No. I'm sorry. I was just asking if
Mikey froze. Michael.
at least on my end.
Hefnen. No, I've got him too. In general, because I'm going to talk until Mikey comes back up to us. We have an amazing thing. These two can work so well in the ring together, and like Tekla's given it a moment to shine. She seems to actually do well when she's not used like by 17 other people around her, like Julia Hart and all that stuff. Benny, do you like this could have legs if I wasn't so worried about Chris and Willow fighting each other forever? I don't know.
Yeah, it could have 8. So like, I like this sort of like filler feud where like they're just like getting the Triangle of Madness like off the ground,
Right.
and there's really no better babyface for a trio of heels to beat up than Willow, because it's sort of like Teflon. Hey, you're back.
I don't think Tony Khan appreciated it.
Yeah, the heat got to you. Tony Khan sent you a heat wave to cut you off from us talking about all this stuff. What?
That might actually be what's happening. So we'll see what happens.
He's not actually like sending lightning to my house, so I'm happy.
Speaking of Tony Khan, you guys completely off topic, but did you see that like live that he did with the Renoirs, like in the background?
No.
Like going on live, like talking about Dynamite and talking about a like Rene Renoir painting like behind him, which is, casually like, I don't know, $1.77 million. Like,
how much is it worth now that he's done nose candy off the side of it? I mean, like, come on.
Oh my God. Oh Lord, help us.
Mikey, we were talking about the fact that like that Tekla is a great heel to like be by herself, but it was a good chance for Willow to just kind of like clean house with 3 heels that obviously are being underutilized and will continue to be until they break them up again.
I mean, you're not wrong. So, well, I mean, Tekla does end up winning, beating Willow in the process. Then Triangle of Madness beats her up, and then Megan Bane and beats up Willow. which then the homegirl squad comes out like, hold up, let me just. This picture was a lot. This is there's a lot happened
Yeah,
after this match.
there's some layers here. There's some layers.
But in my conclusion is, if Tony Khan, if you don't give us this women's blood and gut match, I don't know what we're doing with ourselves.
Do you think
Seriously.
Willow and
Like-
Chris are going to be the only ones to take out Megan? Like, how is this going to work?
I'm gonna be so for real. I don't know if you like take out Megan like for the majority for the rest of the match. I think towards the tail end, I need a whole 5-on-1 with Megan. Like Megan, I was just like, you're gonna need all the Avengers to take down the AEW women's version of Thanos out here.
We're doing the war game setup. Like Megan goes in first, and then she fights,
Just
and all of her
rough
teammates just
houses
don't go in
everything.
on their turn, and lets Megan take on all 5. And then they enter the cage at the end. Like, it's just like,
You know what? That wouldn't be a horrible idea because again, if you're pushing Megan to be a monster,
Exactly. That'd be fantastic. Or like Megan does like the Sid spot where like she goes into war games and like tries to hit the jackknife and like bonks the guy on the top.
they make the ceilings a little bit higher on that now, Benny, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're right. Fair enough.
very, very true. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so we better be getting to blood and guts, Tony. I'm just saying. This was just a promo between Swerve and Okada, which announces, our first match for Forbidden Door for the Unified Championship, Okada versus Swerve. This is gonna slap.
I'm surprised
gonna be fun, I
that Dom Fallis didn't try to speak in broken Japanese and call himself Okada. I don't know.
Listen, the less Don Callis, I'm okay with. I'm not going front. So we get our first match made official for Forbidden Door through this promo. Big
It's
Bang Gang.
wrong. It's so wrong, that picture. Get your beard back, please.
Get the
It's
beard
off-putting.
back. Come on,
Ah.
Juice. We love you. I love you that you're back, but this beard is not beardless. Juice Robinson is not hitting the same for me. Like it's
It's
wrong.
like Juice
Just
Robinson
make it
from Concentrate, not actually Fresh Squeeze. Like, it's just kind of weird.
for reals. So we got the whole Bang Bang gang together and went back once again, but kind of. So we have Juice. We get cardboard cutouts of not only Oscar, and then we also got cardboard coming back. Cardboard Switchblade. I'm like, oh, never change, boys. Never
Cardboard
change.
Blade. Oh my god, the entrance is so good. Go, Benny, go.
No, that's all I was at.
My thing about this is like AEW is missing a trick. I know they can't do it right now, but gods, you have to put Juice Robinson and Orange Cassidy on the same tag team so they can call themselves Juice.
Right. Like, yes.
Both freshly squeezed.
They are. Or, orange juice freshly squeezed is their tagline. Yes. I saw this on the preview. I was like, we can never have anything nice. FTR is going to win, and FTR did win. And I was like, all right, fine.
Can we now
Damn it.
get the Bang Bang Gang versus the Outrunners? Could we get that as a good match somewhere? That'd be fun to watch.
Yes, the shenanigans and tomfoolery that match would be so good. But again,
Can I stick up
FTR
for
wins.
for a second?
Sure, Benny. What's
Go
up?
for it.
I'm sorry to interrupt again. It's just that I want to stick up for FTR only because this is one since they turned heel, right? There's been several times where like the babyface team comes in and the ref turns around. He's like, no, you can't come in right before the hot tag, right? Like there's been several times where just in this match alone, where the crowd is just audibly goes, oh, come on! Like, that's the kind of stuff you just live for,
Yeah, they're actually into it. It's great.
Yeah.
Oh man, very well put. I love that. You're very right about that. Where they at least can draw that feeling out for folks. It's great.
100%.
Absolutely.
So again, FTR is moving on to the finals. So they will await for their opponent, whether it would be the Bucks or Brodito. So we know what this is, but the ride is still going to be fun. Athena's cashing in at Forbidden Door. Second
Okay,
match made.
Okay. This bothered the hell out of me.
I
You're
knew
the
it
heel
would.
in this, Athena. You're the heel. Why are you calling your shot? You don't need to. There is no need. You don't need to be Superman and everyone else's wonderful, Boy Scout. You've never been that in your entire career for this point through ROH and this. Why are you calling your shot? Other than just to lose.
I mean, who knows? Yeah.
Maybe Billy steals the contract and she cash. I don't know what's going to happen here.
We're about 3.5 weeks out for Forbidden Door. Yeah. I don't know.
There's no
is
drama now. There's no drama.
Well, it also makes things weird too, because if Death Before Dishonor was before Forbidden Door, then we could probably have a better idea of where it's going. But the fact that Death Before Dishonor is days after Forbidden Door, so I'm like, don't know what's
This
I
could be
think one thing is about it, like, was that, like, Athena's, like, the way that they're doing this, like, I think it's just to differentiate, like, Athena's win versus MJF's win, but, like, they both
Yeah, but
both do, like, the same, like, "When I will I, won't I," kinda thing, you know?
I could see that. I also feel like it'd be very fun to see them both backstage with their contracts, like waiting, like racehorses ready to run out and like take someone out and do that. Or like the other thing for Athena is like unless you're trying to set up a division between her and Billy to do that break around this, that kind of makes sense. But it's just bizarre.
It definitely is. But again, because of this promo, this sets up our second match for Forbidden Door. So when we get to the end of this, though, we have another match that, while we don't have an official graphic, that got made as of this morning, actually. So we're going to talk about that at the end. So we're going to move on, though. Max Caster actually survived his own challenge for once.
Things are turning up for the best wrestler in the world.
He survived Roosh, which is, an accomplishment that not many a wrestler can say that they have. I survived.
Well, on top of that,
Right.
Roosh again is sent to be the sacrificial lamb to that.
Again, I don't know what's going on with Roosh and everything. This is getting wild, but Max survives. LFI is not having it, beat up on Max, which prompts, Jet Speed and AR Fox to come out for the save. I was like, why are we sacrificing Roosh all the time, though? I don't understand. Like, let us know in the comments if there's something that we're not privy to, because I was like, did he do something? Like, it was like, what's going on?
You might know.
Oh,
Yeah.
spill the tea, sis.
It's strictly speculation. I have no inside sources, clearly, right?
Allegedly.
Of course,
but-
allegedly.
Allegedly. So the FTR's names are still on the title in the shots, while he's like, yeah, I'm going to WWE.
Ooh,
And then they vacated
Okay.
the title.
damn.
Okay, I can see. Damn.
And ever since, and this was like right after Roosh had signed. So, like, that's up and down. That's my theory.
Nothing to do with the fact that Roosh is just hard to work with and in general is very tough about certain things and has had like anger management problems.
that-
I'm not saying that, man, like, he's not a bad,
That,
he's known for being a little bit twisted.
yeah.
Yeah, so LFI versus Jet Speed and AR Fox is probably going to be happening, in the next couple of weeks. But we'll see what happens.
Don't you mean the new Father Wayne?
Anywho, moving on.
Oh, Scorpio Sky.
Yeah, so we had Scorpio Sky and Top Flight. So Skyflight defeated Shane Taylor Promotions. Yeah, I'm like, I did laugh though, because Shane Taylor is just like, listen, Don Callis, you still haven't paid us. It's like, where my money? I was like, y'all are reliable, but I want more for you.
They want to just rehash them and the Hurt Syndicate over and over again, I think is what they want to do.
I mean, that's very true. So I was like, all right. So we add attempted murder to the charges. Darby takes Mox outside and he's going to throw him over the railing until security magically finds them and pulls them apart. I was just like, we have kidnapping charges, attempted murder. We'll see what else Darby can rack up in his feud with Mox and Death Riders.
I would have loved to. I know the building that's next door to that building when they filmed this was midday. There is it's a methadone clinic that's next door to that. So if there are people that are up there in the upstairs windows watching this attempted murder, not knowing where they are on methadone, like it just would have just added to the whole thing at that point. I'm assuming
maybe this, as silly as it is, I was like, I like this. I did. I'm here for the silliness of it all. And again, now we're setting up, Mox and Darbs are going to be feuding for a little bit while Hangman deals with everybody else who's coming for this title, which is Briscoe and MJF at the moment. So we'll have to wait to see what other charges we're going to put on Darby's rap sheet as this feud continues. Can't wait. Okay, bonkers. This was bananas. This was my favorite match on Collision and probably my favorite match this past week on AEW. Shout out to you, Dustin. He needs to get double knees. And he's going to be out for a little bit. I'm like, hot damn, Dustin. I was like, now, since y'all in and Supercard of Honor, now I understand why you've been walking weirdly. I was like, more so than normal.
Well, and this match covered for that pretty damn well. Like they really helped to kind of make him look super strong in this.
These two literally went to war, and this was awesome. We had thumbtacks in the trunks. We had chair spots. There was bleeding. Kyle Fletcher stabbed Dustin through the knee with the screwdriver. Like, these two are just like, well, like, what they were planning for this match, and the producers were like, so do y'all want to bleed? And they're just like, bet.
Well, on top of the fact also, you had attempted kidnapping and murder on the show, and this was more brutal.
For reals, I was just like, how you manage all that? Like, this was a war for sure. And I was like, shout out to Dustin and shout out to Kyle Fletcher. Like, holy crap. I was like, for a 2-week build to this match, I was just like, hot damn, y'all delivered. Is this
Oh yeah, one thing I thought that was the way that I watch wrestling when Dustin walked out with the bandana around his leg, I was like, well, that's new. And then how that what was it like the Shattered Dreams with the attacks? Oh my gosh! I've never I'm not like a wimp when it comes to that kind of stuff. But like that was like
Squeamish.
oh my yeah, squeamish. That's what I meant. That
It was the clutch of pearl moment. You're like,
After the last couple of weeks watching like Flop Doll in a ladder, nothing can phase me at this point. So
this was a
I feel
crazy
like he
week.
turned like right as he was coming down on the bump. Right?
and decided to take it full on the groin.
And then poor Casey Navarro re-aggravated his knee at the same time as they were all falling down. I was just like, oh Lord. So like,
But this was the tax in it, the brutality of it, blood everywhere, and we knew who was winning, and yet it was just full on entertaining.
oh, this was so much fun. The dust settled, blood everywhere, just pure carnage. I'm just gonna let this image speak for itself. Your winner and new TNT champion, the protostar Kyle Fletcher, and I'm like, about damn time.
Yes, Mr. Sky Blue.
Yes, Sky was watching in the back.
Love the hot.
I really do too.
It works.
The
so
pink
well.
has become so again, not to like break the illusion of everything, but you know, I wish she was a friend to the channel, but I love her work anyways. Denise Salcedo, love you, girl, so much. Her interview with Kyle Fletcher leading into Y'all in Texas week was so much fun because
So
again, he's hilarious. I love him so much. And then he was just honest. He's just like, because they talked about why he shaved his head. Is there any significance to the color pink? Because, she asked about that. I was like, Denise is out here asking questions that nobody else thinks about, and I love it. Also, shout out to Malcolm for asking wrestlers what their Waffle House order would be, because those are always fun to watch, too. Anywho.
So good.
But yeah, I'm just like, about damn time. Kyle Fletcher holding singles gold in AEW. Man, this man has had what a rise he has had in the last 2 years, going from being a part of Aussie Open as a tag team to Ring of Honor television champ to kind of going through the things, just meandering a little bit, and now he is champion. Oh, when the inevitable turn happens, him versus Takeshita is going to slap for this belt.
That's gonna be great.
Also, Takeshita is kind of banging it out in Japan right now. It's like, Lord have mercy. After this past week, him and 7 other people in B Block, I was like, how the hell do we have an 8-way tie right now for first?
Check out our reporting on that because Mikey gave some great thoughts on there.
And I think once they figured out what they were going to do, because poor Gabe having to drop out really kind of screwed over B Block a little bit in terms of how we were going to get things. So everybody stepped it up though. And I'm sad that ELP is mathematically eliminated, but you know what? It is okay. Yeah, I'm interested to see. And also go check out Adolfo's video who's covering A Block, because A Block is having its own issues right now.
It's
like
a weird year.
Like, David Finley, you gotta get it together. How is it that we are losing? House of Torture is running rampant in A Block. It is wild over there. But
meanwhile, all this crazy stuff's going around the entirety of the wrestling world. People are dropping out like flies. Flop Doll is, making sure he's got his own little vasectomy from a ladder. It's all set there. And what do we have still going on? London Lightning was fired from his job at the hardware store, and I'm devastated for him.
That 15-minute interlude, like, where is he now thing was ridiculous, and me and the Jersey Devil really enjoyed that. That was such a wild review.
I enjoyed watching it. I was so sad I wasn't there for it. I'm here for the next one, though. It's going to be so good.
No, again, if you have not seen our Mystery Wrestling review, like, the best way to summarize our review is the Jersey Devil, where is he now, London Lightning being fired from his job, and literal clapping cheeks.
And cream pies.
Yes, and
all over the audience.
And Max Kruger, that main event, I'm like, oh my God, the worlds are colliding.
It's so good.
Chris Danger, I love you.
Yes, he was.
So Kyle Fletcher's our new TNT champ. Love it. So
well deserved.
That is the end of this week's AEW review. But let's preview what this week has. Well, because I don't know what's happening on Collision yet, and I don't think they do either, but we'll figure that out. But for Dynamite tomorrow evening, we got a couple things announced. We're getting MJF.
What is this photo? What is this?
Mark Briscoe.
Now, what is he? He's Temu Taz? Like, what's going on here?
I hope this is a deliberate thing.
There's got to be like a story with all these photos. Like, can we line them up?
Like, this is amazing. So we're getting MJF versus Mark Briscoe. We are also getting our other semifinal match, the Young Bucks versus Brodito. Winner
And we
will
know
go on to
we know
face
how this is happening.
probably, but you know what? We'll see what happens. Winner goes on to face FTR in the finals, and then the winner of that finals will go to London to fight the Hurt Syndicate for those tag titles. We're also getting the return of Mercedes 8 belts now because she collected 2 more belts in her hiatus.
But she's not good enough to get the AEW women's belt. That's interesting.
No, I'm excited. Well, here's the other thing that leads into what was announced today. So, just to recap, Mercedes has been traveling around the globe. Her match at Summer Sizzler for Rev Pro was fucking crazy and fantastic. Y'all, that match was wild. Me and Andrew were gushing about it. It was just like, that match was so damn good. And it picked up a championship from Poland. So, girl out here jet setting, collecting belts to fill the hole that, her failure of capturing the AEW Women's Championship.
Right.
So, I'm here. Ladies, this is gimmick. It's getting out of hand, but I'm here for the craziness. Now, this is important though, because Tony Khan announced that, now we're making more matches for Forbidden Door. So we know that Athena and Tony will have a match for the AEW Women's World Championship. But as announced this morning, Tony Khan has made it official that Mercedes is going to be defending her TBS championship at Forbidden Door as well. But her match is going to be a fatal 4-way. And this fatal 4-way is going to have Mercedes defend her title against the winner of, and we're getting an international qualifier. So this is how this match at Forbidden Door is going to go. It's going to be Mercedes versus whoever wins the qualifier for AEW versus whoever wins the women's qualifier from CMLL in the Amazona division versus the winner from the Stardom qualifying match. So it is so it's Mercedes versus AEW versus Stardom versus CMLL. And I'm just like, yes!
That is going to be a fun way to kind of ramp up to this. I am looking forward to seeing who they can pull out of there. I have ideas about who's already been kind of touted, and we're going to see a lot of stuff with that, which is going to be good. I may be wrong for this. I want to find a pay-per-view where it's just one pay-per-view, and it's just the Mercedes pay-per-view where she has to defend her belt.
Defend to get all her titles.
All the belts defended in a night.
Hey, you know what? I would be here for this. Like, have her run the gauntlet. Just like, and all of it different stipulations too, like a regular, an Ire Woman, a ladder match, a street fight. Honestly, if Mercedes did that, I think I would put her, I'll be like, oh man, she's amazing. Like the criticisms that we gave her are still kind of valid, but yeah. I'm here for the ride with Mercedes, and I'm super excited to see who the representatives, which, in addition to that announcement, Tony Khan also announced that our AEW women's qualifier will be tomorrow night on Dynamite, which has me excited. So the women's qualifier for Dynamite tomorrow, honestly, I like the field and I am okay with any of these 4 going to Forbidden Door, but the qualifier for AEW is going to see Queen Aminata is Sky Blue versus Alex Windsor versus Billy Starks.
Done. Who's going to take the pin at Forbidden Door?
Probably. Who knows? Tony Khan let this main event give them 25 minutes. So we'll see. But that's all the announcements I have for AEW. So I'm looking forward to Dynamite and whatever Collision has for us this Saturday. So
how about you, Ben? What do you think?
Yeah, I think that Mercedes match is like a great way to get everybody on the show. But if Anna Jay's in that match, she's in that 4-way, she's taking that pin. I'm just kidding. What at Anna Jay? If whoever's also representing AEW, they're taking that ball.
Yeah. It's what it is. Because Mercedes isn't losing her belt.
Yeah, Mercedes ain't losing, and they're not gonna beat somebody else's person,
Right. Well, and then the thing is, though, too, like if we're looking at that match, like obviously the AEW person will probably take the pin. CMLL has been a little more gracious with their people getting pinned, especially because it allows them to show up and show out. I'm gonna be so for real. I think I have an idea of who potentially could be coming over to face Mercedes, and I've narrowed it down to probably 3 over in CMLL based on who we've seen pop in and out over the last year or so. And so my money is either on the powerhouse of CMLL, bodybuilder extraordinaire, and my girl, Reina Isis, or because she's been in ROH putting in the work and also just coming up every time she can, I also think Lena could be showing up too for CMLL. Stardom, I have no clue who they're going to send because they got most of their roster involved in the 5-star GP right now. So who knows?
Isn't that the way?
Who's the one that made their debut?
Oh, you know what? That could also, but she's in ROH though. Sayaka I'm
Yeah.
like, it could be Sayaka, but who knows? But of all the women that are currently in Stardom right now, I don't know if she would, but B would be great. Bozilla would be nuts because that is a literal strong woman. I don't know if Stardom would send any of their champions to be a part of this. So like Starlight Kid and all of them. I think just for the lulz, they should send Fugeking Death just cuz. But who knows? So we'll see what happens with all of that. But yeah, that concludes our AEW review for this evening. We still got a whole jam-packed week though. So tomorrow evening is the double dose reviews. We are at 5:30 p.m. Pacific, NXT, 8 p.m. Pacific, CMLL, which is going to be fantastic. We are 3 weeks away from the World Grand Prix in CMLL, Team Mexico versus Team International. And we got some AEW folks involved like Leo Rush, Action Andretti, Beast Mike Bailey wrestling in Mexico is going to be wild to watch, which has me excited. Thursday, we take a trip over to Japan as Andrew will be leading myself and Adolfo in our GCW in Japan review as we review the 3 shows that happened in Japan this past week for GCW, which is a lot of fun. I got to see the Invisible Stan wrestle and Yoshihiko wrestle the, doll and everything. And I got to see my new favorite in DDP, Mao, be wrestling in GCW. It was so much fun. Can't wait to talk about that Thursday. Friday, we are back with our TNA review, and we are less than 2 weeks out from Emergence, which is the next pay-per-view for TNA. So we're getting the road on that and building those matches. Saturday is a live watch-along of MLW's Blood and Thunder, where we are getting our first 3 rounds of the Opera Cup. We are getting Matt Riddle versus Dijak Part 2 in our main event for the MLW, World Championship. We're also getting Shotzi's MLW debut against Ava Everett, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And then we wrap things up on Sunday with our WWE review of Raw and SmackDown, so lots of good stuff. Also, I have to prepare myself because the following week, Andrew has indoctrinated me because I will be covering GCW and Juggalo Championship Wrestling's the 2-day war. So it's going to be nuts.
Mikey, oh, how the mighty have fallen.
Well, if we're talking about other stuff, I'm all about supporting everybody, bringing in their other stuff, which brings me to my final announcement. No official things yet, nothing truly finalized. I'm still talking about it. But we might be adding one more international brand to our docket, thanks to Andrew, who has now become our own BC WrestlePod indie god. Take that, Matthew Cardona. And we are looking into adding Rev UK to our lineup. There's a lot of good talent, and that anniversary show that is happening during all Forbidden Door weekend is going to be nuts. Rev Pro just also announced they're bringing back Global Wars UK, which is going to see stars from CMLL, ROH, Rev Pro, like Stardom. And I was just like, y'all know these people are probably going to be showing up at Forbidden Door 2, depending on what we get as well. So I'm hype. So, but nothing official yet, but we might be adding Rev Pro into our international. And then again, Andrew is officially our indie god of BC WrestlePod with all the stuff that he has brought into this wheelhouse. So
nice.
Appreciate it. But I will take claim for progress because I brought progress in. You can't take it away from me, Andrew. I'm just kidding. Love you.
Starting feuds again. Starting feuds.
For real. This is going to be great. But that is going to be it for us here. We love you all. Thank you so much for tuning in. I got to let these boys out because I was grateful that they let us start late, but I need to get them out in a timely manner. So, from all of us here at All and the rest of the BC WrestlePod family, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, stay Bi-Conic, and more importantly than anything, you always deserve to finish your story. We will see you tomorrow for NXT and CMLL reviews. And also be on the lookout for my video essay tomorrow about a certain situation that happened on Sunday.
Shared around.
It's going to be crazy. But Mikey, this is Mike. Yeah. This is Mikey, El Jefe of BC WrestlePod, signing us out for the evening. I cannot sign us out correctly, but I think these boys can. So MXM Collection, take it away.
Let's get out of here. Johnny TV style. Sebastian! In the shot, you bald idiot! You fool! The other way, go!
Thank you so much for tuning in to another Vibe Tribe production. What's gonna happen next time? Well, you're gonna have to tune in to find out. But until then, remember, take care of yourself, love one another, and as always, make sure that you keep the good times rolling. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you next time.